Welcome, everybody, to another episode of KDM, the podcast that talks movies. And that is what the M stands for, the K standing for my good friend and colleague, Kit Bowen. Hi, Kit. How are
Hi,
you?
I'm
And
good.
the D standing for Dimitri.
Dimitri.
And the M, we already went over movies, and today we have a special episode. No, nobody dies in this
Well,
special episode,
no.
but what we're giving you is, what we're giving you today is a twofer one deal in this episode of KDM. We're and man, what a bizarre take. Because not only are you going to get the Five Nights at Freddy's 2, followed by an Oscar hopeful contender,
Yes,
Hamnet.
that's
So we're
just
gonna
what
go
this
from
that's just what
that's
this
that's
season's all about, right? Yeah. We
yep,
got horror
that's
movies.
tis the season. So we're gonna go right from Five Nights at Freddy's 2 right into Hamnet. Um, so stick around because it is going to be a wild ride. So get your pizza right now because as we dive
The,
into
the
the
worst
Chuck E.
pizza in the world.
Cheese, the Chuck E. Cheese of horror, Five Nights at Freddy's 2, which actually the best part about the movie that I can say was we got to see this movie together.
Yes. Yes.
We
Yes.
got to see this movie together. So, Kit, what did you think about Five Nights at Freddy's 2? And I think we saw the first one together as well.
Yeah, I think we did.
Um,
Yeah.
yeah, at the same
Um,
theater.
I thought it was completely unnecessary, to be honest. I think the first one kind of had that novelty, that sort of nostalgic feel to it, the 80s, the Chuck E. Cheese, kids going to these big places with these animatronics. And, as a parent going to Chuck E. Cheese, as I remember, uh I do I did have one couple of times watching them on stage doing their thinking, what if they just go crazy and start chopping people's heads off? I did. I actually thought that at one point. So yeah, so I think that was what the appeal was to the first one. It got a little convoluted the first one, as far as why and who, and they were ghost kids and blah blah blah. So that being said, this one is even more convoluted and even and dumber in my opinion. I mean, you know, this little girl is now like 12 or 11 years old from the first one, and um, she's grew attached to those ghost kids and that were stuck in the animatronics of Freddy's. Chica,
Abby. This
Foxy, and
Abby. Yeah.
Tad, Teddy, and I don't know, Freddie. Anyway, um, so in this one, there was an actual offshoot of an original Freddy's, which was a little bit even more elaborate. They had like a boat ride and all this kind of stuff, and there was this marionette named well, I don't know even know what the marionette's name was, but
It wasn't. It was
oh,
just the
okay,
marionette.
the
That's new
marionette.
character. Hmm.
So, so this thing that would come out of the middle of the stage and the little trap door and do whatever. And the film starts off with this little girl sitting there waiting for the marionette to come out because she connects to the marionette, and she sees kind of off to the side, she sees a little boy being sort of taken away by a Teddy Freddy character or whatever, which we've come to find out from the first one is Matthew Lillard, who's a serial killer of children and dresses up as these things and then kills these kids. So anyway, she goes back to try to see what happened to the kid. None of the parents are helping her. She runs around trying to ask for help, and they're all like, "No, no, 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 no." Again, totally ridiculously stupid. Of course, a parent would probably say
Too
something.
busy eating bad pizza, kid. Go on with you. Go on with you. Leave.
so so dumb. Anyway, this little girl's
It
name is
was
Charlotte, and then she goes in the back and she she actually almost rescues the girl, but then she comes out on stage and she's been stabbed, but the little boy is safe, and she starts to
Oh,
haunt, which
and by the
becomes,
way, spoilers, folks.
oh yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
spoilers.
yes, spoilers for both movies, by the way.
Yeah, yeah,
Yes.
yeah. Um, so anyway, she then becomes sort of uh the nemesis or the villain of the film because she haunts this Freddy's and is sort of the marionette can possess people. So anyway, I mean, do I have to keep going on? I don't know.
You
I really
don't
just
because
I really just
you
I
think,
wish that I love Josh Hutcherson. I actually do. I really like him. I think he's a good actor, and he's, he's had some success with these things. And I think the first one was just a fluke, as good as it got, as much money as it made. But the rest of the cast is pretty weak. Even the lead actress character, played
Abby, who,
no play
well, the character's name.
Vanessa, played by Elizabeth Lail, the cop from
Oh,
the
oh,
first one.
Vanessa. Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. Who, yeah, did this movie even remember that she was a cop? I think they showed her as a cop in
yeah, I
flashback or
remember.
in a dream,
I
but the
remember.
movie doesn't because she doesn't seem to be a cop anymore,
Well, no, she's not.
except in a dream.
Apparently whatever happened in the first one traumatized her so badly that she had to take a leave of absence. So she's kind of in a depressed situation, having horrible dreams about her serial killer father, and so so she's then kind of ends up finding out about the possessed marionette and like trying to warn everybody. It's just it just got stupider and stupider, and all of the, like I said, all of the kind of interesting novelty of the first one just wore off very quickly. So not a great night for me. I don't think I
Yeah.
could spend 5 nights watching this, but let alone one.
Yes.
So yeah, there you go. That's my
I
take.
have to say, we are in agreement. I don't, yeah, we're in agreement on this one. You said something to me after the movie as we were walking out of the theater, and you said exactly what you said. It's like, yeah, the charm of the first one wore off rather quickly. And I said, what charm? And I guess on my drive home, I was thinking about, I do actually listen to you. And I was like, yeah, I guess what you're saying, because I was thinking about the first one, and the first one did have its charm, whereas those animatronics, right, and coming to life, there was something about the creation of that
Yeah,
was there was a bit of publicity around how they were making those things, that they were more than just a person in the suit, right?
right, right.
And in this one, that's kind of dispelled at the very beginning of the movie when you see Matthew Lillard take the mask off.
Yeah,
And when that happens, kind of for the rest of the movie, that's all I'm seeing is a person in a suit.
right.
So I'm not seeing these special effects people who are working in animatronics actually creating these great masks and whatnot.
Hmm.
And so that charm was kind of lost on me. And the convolutedness, like you picked up on stuff, like the best character or the creepiest character was this new one that they brought into this, was this marionette,
Right,
right?
right.
And I didn't honestly pick up that, so that this character that they brought in, this Charlotte, who, okay, so at the beginning it kind of reminded me, so at the beginning she sees the boy, you described it, and she comes out with the boy in her arms
Right,
and she does this scream. So
right.
it kind of reminded me of the beginning of Scream 2 with Jada Pinkett Smith,
Oh,
right?
uh-huh.
Where the ghost face stabs, they're in the movie theater.
Right,
And she
right,
gets
right, right.
stabbed multiple times, and she gets up in front of the theater and she lets out this guttural scream, and then she
Yes,
just dies.
right.
And it stops the whole movie theater. And it didn't quite reach that pinnacle of
Right.
like, but she screams and then she dies, and then this trap door opens, and then the marionette comes on. But I did not realize that the marionette becomes Charlotte. Like,
Yeah.
I'm like, wait a minute.
Well, you
Wait, how
kind of
did that
don't.
happen? Like,
Well,
go
you don't
ahead.
kind of you don't really know that until Vanessa character shows up and kind of explains what happens, kind of thing. You just think that the marionette is just another one of the possessed things that are in this. So, you've got these sort of ghost hunter group kind of come into the Freddy's, and um McKenna Grace, very short lived cameo.
Yeah, she has like a cameo.
So
Yeah,
she is then this music box. There's a music box that you can hear the music, and apparently the music box is sort of a barrier of some kind to keep the marionette ghost or the vengeance or whatever asleep. And then she ends up, breaking that barrier, and the marionette comes up and possesses her. So I didn't think it was Charlotte at first, but then the Vanessa character comes in and says, "Hey, Charlotte, it's me." Blah blah blah. And you're like, "Oh, that okay, I get it." Yeah, you're right. It wasn't very well explained
but
at first.
but yeah, and then I'm like, well, wait a minute. How could it be her? Like, did nobody find Charlotte? Like, what's going? You're right. It becomes very convoluted, and even with McKenna Grace, because there's a final shot of McKenna Grace, and it's like, is she alive? Like, what? Like, and then there's also a cameo of this guy Teo Briones, he's actually in a very good horror movie. He's in Final Destination Bloodlines,
Right,
where he plays the brother of the lead actress, the character there.
right.
And he's in this, and I didn't even know that.
Yeah,
And I just find it funny that McKenna Grace has this cameo, and she's kind of playing a Ghostbuster again,
yeah,
and I'm like,
yeah, yeah.
what? And I'm like, yeah, no, no, don't tarnish your ghost busting days. Like, no, no, dude,
Yeah,
like how? I go, did you owe somebody a favor to do this?
yeah,
Like,
exactly.
and then this movie really does go off the rails.
Yeah,
Josh Hutcherson, who honestly in the first movie, it was kind of almost like a comeback for him. In the first movie, I had completely forgotten, opened up to $80 million.
yeah, yeah,
And it also opened my eyes to the popularity. We did neglect to mention that this is based off of a very popular video game franchise.
right.
And $80 million is nothing to sneeze at as far as opening weekend. It's a
Yeah,
Blumhouse movie, so that means it costs $2. And it seemed like they put even less into this one, perhaps.
yeah,
And, this does have Wayne Knight. We all know him as Newman
yeah,
from Seinfeld, or, Dodson, we got Dodson here.
yeah,
Yeah, the movie just goes, I don't know, it gets a little bit convoluted when it shouldn't be.
yeah.
It shouldn't be. My other problem is, and I hate to, it was directed by Emma Tammy. As I'm watching it, I'm like going, is this movie PG-13 or rated R?
Right.
And it seemed, I think it's rated R,
Yeah,
but
okay,
it's
I
not
think so.
necessarily because of like,
Some of the
I don't
violence,
think
yeah.
it's I don't think it's necessarily because of violence. I know they drop a couple of F-bombs, but it's not overly gory. And
Right,
to me, it's like it almost tries to play it safe to be PG-13. And it's like, look, in a movie like this, you either go for it or you
right,
don't. You either do what Megan does and you be like go for it,
right,
or like don't go down the middle.
right,
Like you can't. So either give the audience what it wants and be gross, and don't if you're trying to leave it to the imagination and you want to be PG-13, there's ways to do it and make it effective.
yeah,
right?
Yeah.
And do it that way. Or if you're going to be R, give the audience the rated R version.
Right.
Like, don't half-ass it. And I
Yeah.
feel that this movie half-assed it even more than the first one
Yeah.
did. And this one was even less scarier than the first one. Outside of the marionette, which was kind of creepy at times, especially when it floated and it looked
Yes.
as if it were a marionette, right?
Right.
I mean,
Right.
I will give that is the most positive thing I can say about the movie is that the marionette at times was creepy.
Yes.
Everything else about this movie, there was nothing really scary about this movie. It
No.
wasn't gross. It wasn't like gory like the movie could have been. There was nothing overly like relevant about it. And for all those people who bagged on Megan 2.0, like Megan
Yeah. I
2.0 for
mean,
me, I
yeah.
enjoyed and had something to say about
Yeah.
technology.
Yeah.
This movie could have had something to say, but said nothing at all.
Yeah. Yeah. And the thing is that Megan 2.0 wasn't really that horrible. I did end up finally watching it. It just went on a little too long. I mean, they were kind of just stretching it out, but the initial concept of it and whatnot, I thought was pretty good. So, yeah, this one definitely just clearly did not need to get made. This was a major cash grab. That was it.
Yeah, and again, without having played the game, I don't know how it fits into
Yeah, I don't
the
either. Yeah.
gaming franchise. Oh, and then they introduced another character whom I don't know if this character's in the game, but they bring up another family member.
Oh, yeah.
This
That was
Michael
so
character,
dumb.
right?
I mean, it's like, oh
Right,
my God, you've got to be kidding me.
and can I ask you? So this actor, his name is Freddie Carter, and he plays Michael, who is son to William Afton, Matthew Lillard. So he plays his sister. He's Vanessa's brother. He's
Right,
Vanessa's brother, right?
right.
Am I the only one? Did you like? There was something about his facial features. He reminded me of the actor who portrayed the young Jack Nicholson in Tim
Yeah.
Burton's Batman, who played
Oh,
the young
yeah.
Joker, who's like, have
Yes.
you danced with the devil in the pale blue, who shoots the Waynes
Yeah, yeah, I know.
at
I know
like
who
the
you're talking
beginning,
about.
and I'm like going, oh my God, he could almost be him. He
Yeah.
reminded me of him, but this character comes out of nowhere, and like, and he's like carrying the father like what is going on here?
Yeah,
It's
it
like,
was
oh, and he comes out of nowhere. Um, oh well, yes. So
yeah, so
Five
it's
Nights. So you give it Five Nights at Freddy's 2. You're giving it the thumbs down.
I mean,
I see.
I'll give it a 1 star for Josh
Yeah,
Hutcherson.
yeah.
That's
I
it.
mean,
I
I'm
think he's
giving it.
cute and I like him, so 1 star for me.
Yeah, it's getting one finger, 1 star. The one finger. The more I was gonna give it two, and then the more I thought about it, it gets
Yeah,
1 star.
yeah,
Yeah, we'll see how it does over the weekend. Um, but yeah,
yeah,
well, and it doesn't even inspire me to play the game, to be honest with you,
yeah, yeah,
or even get pizza for that matter. And that's why it gets 1 star.
yeah.
It doesn't even inspire me to get pizza. So,
Not that
but let's
pizza.
turn no, not no, no. But let's turn things around.
Yes.
Let's go from bad to excellent,
To excellence.
shall
Yes.
we?
Yes.
Yeah, let's go from bad to excellence. And I think this is going to be, well, I know we already talked Wicked earlier earlier this year. But let's talk about another, which I think is going to be an Oscar contender in multiple categories. Let's talk about this little movie called Hamnet. So that came out in Thanksgiving, and I believe it expands this weekend.
Yeah.
Hamnet, and again, it's something that I did not know. It's just another name for Hamlet.
Yeah, they're
Okay.
very interchangeable. Yeah.
Yeah, they're very I did not know that. I
Of
always
that time, I should say.
of the yeah, of that time. So this uh this to me very powerful, beautiful, wonderfully told story that plays like a biopic, but is fiction
Well,
about William
kind of
Shakespeare.
it's kind of loosely based. Let's just say that. So the
Yes.
novel was based written by Maggie O'Farrell, and
Hmm.
she actually co-wrote the screenplay with Chloe Zhao, who's the director, and just unbelievably wonderful director. I think she's got an amazingly beautiful eye. Um, but yeah, it was Maggie O'Farrell wrote the book, and the facts that we know are that uh, Shakespeare did marry very young. He was like 18, she was like 22 or something. And they did have three children together, one and a daughter, and then twins, a boy and a girl. And facts are, at 11 years old, the boy Hamnet died. They don't know exactly how he died, but they're most likely it was the plague, um, which is pretty much said in the film as well. That's all we know. Those are the
Hmm.
facts. Those are the facts.
Right.
So sort of took that and expanded on that, and in the film, uh Shakespeare, played by Paul Mescal, who was just brilliant as well. He it maybe, or they don't know, but in the film and in the book, this inspired him to write Hamlet. But up to the final, like, last 20 minutes of the film, where we actually see Hamlet being performed, which I just that was my so beautiful. You have this sort of pastoral look at their life as as a married couple. Jessie Buckley, who, I'm sorry, will get the Oscar. I mean, I know we'll probably disagree on that one, but I definitely think she's going to get it because she's put in so many great performances throughout her career, and
Now
she's
you heard
just
it here, folks. You heard it
yeah,
here. We usually don't date the show because the show is universal, so you
yeah,
can listen to it. It's timeless, but it is December 5th.
yes.
It is December 5th at about 11:30, 11:27 Pacific Standard Time. You heard the prediction. Jesse Buckley will walk home with the statuette. Kit Bowen,
I
everybody.
I said that. Yes, I said
Well,
that out
yeah,
loud, and I will
yeah.
stand by it. I will
Out
stand by it.
loud,
But
out loud, worldwide.
it's a good field this year. Anyway,
It's a good
back
film.
to the film. So she's very much in tune with nature. In fact, some people think she's
A
a forest
witch.
witch. But that opening shot of her kind of nestled into a alcove of a
Tree. Yeah.
tree and sleeping and then waking up, and I mean, come on, it was just so gorgeous. And she's a free spirit, but she meets Shakespeare, and they kind of have an immediate attraction. And they fall in love madly, and she gets pregnant, and he ends up, they get married. And uh Emily, oh gosh, I'm now blanking on her
Mortimer.
name.
Isn't
Yes,
it
no,
Mortimer? Yeah.
no,
No. Uh,
Watson. Emily
Watson.
Watson
Sorry. Yep.
plays
Forgive
plays
me. Yep.
Shakespeare's
Mary.
mother.
Hmm.
Yeah. And she's opposed to the marriage and all this kind of stuff, but then she ends up, coming around to her daughter-in-law. But you see this life being built, and you see Paul Mescal's character as Shakespeare sort of feeling stifled, feeling suffocating, because
Right.
he's writing and writing and writing, but he's not, he can't, he needs more stimulation, basically. And so Emily Watson, I mean, Jessie Buckley's Agnes says, you have to go. You have to go to London. You must go and write and be, because this is, it's going to kill you. And I'll stay here and take care of
Right.
everything, and I'll be fine. So that's what he ends up doing. But he's gone for long periods of time. So so there's this tension between on the marriage, especially when the two twins, actually both of them, girl and boy, the girl gets sick first, and it looks pretty dire for her. And then you see this beautiful, lovely little scene between the two young actors. And Hamnet's like, I'll take it. I want you to live. It's okay. I'll go. You can live, kind of thing. And of course, that's not exactly how it works. I'm sure he just caught the bug from her, but he ends up dying because it's too much for him. So there's just this anguish. Just this beautiful anguish. It's just, any parent can feel it, and the she's so mad. She's so mad that it happened and that he wasn't there. So it all kind of builds
I
to
mean,
this.
he's racing to get back. He has
Yeah,
word.
he is.
I mean,
He's
there's
trying
this
to, yeah,
whole scene.
yeah,
Yeah, there's everything leading up to it.
yeah.
It's
So then it,
very
but it culminates
yeah.
into the first performance of Hamlet. And at first she's never seen any of his plays. She's never gone into town. She didn't want to. She wanted to stay away. But now that she knows that this play is named after her son, she's like, okay, I guess I have to go. And she goes with her half brother, and they go, and she's mad at first, and she's defiant. She's like, what has this got to do with my son? Da, da, da. And then he comes out on stage, played by the wonderful Noah Jupe from Quiet Place, all grossed up, very cute.
I
Um,
mean, yeah.
and he's got, his hair is blonde, and he looks like a grown up version of what Hamnet might have looked like. And she just immediately is, she stops dead. She's immediately, mesmerized. She's immediately there. She's just on the front stage. Oh, it's that whole part of that movie.
The whole last half hour, and again, I wouldn't. I mean, I want to spend some time talking about the Globe Theater scene because
Yeah, I
for
mean, that
me, there
is
was like
really
a
the
lot to
pivotal scene.
unpack.
The
Yeah, I
pivotal
mean,
scene.
there's a lot that there's the Hamnet death is pretty it's
Heart
pretty
wrenching.
impactful. It
Yeah.
really is. Their relationship is something to behold, and the
Yeah.
relationship between Shakespeare and his dad. Um, the movie
Well,
is
I think
very
that was
wonderful.
minor. Shakespeare and his dad are minor to me. I
Yeah,
think it's more
but
about, I
it
don't know.
is
I don't
well,
know.
it's
I
minor,
mean, it shapes
but
him.
there is a great scene, because Shakespeare's dad doesn't believe in his writing. And even though Shakespeare is, he knows how to be a craftsman. He knows how to do this, but it's not where his heart is. And the scene where he finally, where Shakespeare puts his foot down, and because his father takes to beating him, and finally Shakespeare stands up and says, "If you ever hit me again, it'll be the last time."
Yeah.
You hit me. And it's a pretty defiant, great. I found it to be an excellent moment in the film. The moments between Shakespeare's mom Mary and Annis. I love how
Agnes,
it's
yeah.
they pronounced it Annis. It's Agnes to us lay folk.
Or us
um,
American folk.
Yeah, and I found that their relationship and how their dynamic changed.
Yeah.
Where Mary
Well,
was
here's
very
the
hard
thing.
against her,
Here's the other thing I really
or-
loved was that,
yes,
you know, Annis wanted to have her children she has her first baby just by herself in the forest. That's where she
yes,
can find her power. That's where she finds her power. And again, they find her there, and she's like, I got the baby and everything is, but then when she has the twins, the mother-in-law is like, insists that she has to be, because there's some complications. Actually, I don't even think they know she's having twins until the
yeah.
second one comes out. And yeah, so she insists that she stays inside and has it in the room, and that really, I feel like all of that kind of just gave light to how things might turn out. And of course, and Inez also has sort of a um, she's got sort of prognon or premonition type uh powers as well. She can kind of
Mhm.
sort of see the future and that kind of thing. So she kind of sees some of this that's going to occur, and she just, anyway, she's got a lot of power from the nature, and also
Right.
back in those days too, women would just go out and find herbs and to heal, and it was just all from what they could find and know how to use it and that kind of thing. And so but the how she
Right.
can't, with all of her power, she can't seem to save her son. It's just heart
Yeah.
wrenching. It's
And
awful.
she was a what do they call it? A falconer
Yes,
as
yes,
well. And yeah, so yeah, it was yeah, I mean their relationship I found it was very engaging. Like it takes the movie runs what about 2.5 hours, around two hours 20 minutes, but you get wrapped up in the story, and to me too, it runs as being truthful and being factual.
yeah.
It's always amazing to me that we know so little about William Shakespeare. Outside of the cursory fact, he's married and had 3 kids, and he wrote these plays. That's about
Or
it, and the
or
Globe
or
Theater.
and there is there's a strong a lot of people have said, did he write all the plays? So there's a lot of
No,
discourse on that as well.
right, and so. But watching this movie, I watch it and I took it as fact. Like there wasn't anything, I watched it and maybe I just wanted to believe. Like I watched this movie and had a title card popped up and said based on a true story, right? I would have said okay, and I would have gone into it saying, okay, I understand that there are going to be embellishments here and there, right? Because every based on a true story, you know that something's going to be embellished for the
Yeah,
sake of a screen story to make it
yeah,
more interesting and this, that, and the other. I'm watching this going, yeah, okay, I'm buying whatever they're selling me right now because A, I thought the writing was very solid. B, I found this to be Chloe Zhao's, best feature. Look, I was not the biggest Chloe Zhao film. I'm not a fan of Nomadland, The
oh, I
Eternals.
did, I
Hell
liked it.
no. But yeah, I was not a
Wow,
Nomadland
that's
fan. Not an Eternals fan in the least. This movie, I feel, totally earns, I think great job, cinematography, production design. The acting in it, top to bottom, is superb. Paul Mescal totally turns around. I mean, this is not Gladiator. Like he is a fantastic actor. He was
yes,
perfect in this. Jesse Buckley, again, superb. The kids were. All
yeah,
three of them were, are
yeah, yeah,
they're fantastic,
yeah.
including the boy that plays Hamnet, Jacoby Jupe,
Who is the brother of?
who is the brother of Noah Jupe. And Noah Jupe, as you said, yeah, all grown up and maybe took some more acting lessons because he's
Yeah.
fantastic as Hamlet. Um, I bought into the story. I bought into, wow, okay, this is Shakespeare.
Hmm.
I get that, okay, he lived out in the country and he had to travel to London. This is where he was writing, and it was great to see him rehearsing with his actors, and he'd be
Yeah,
like, again. He
yeah,
was listening and no, this is how you do it. This is how it should be. And he was every much an actor as he was a writer.
right.
Um, I want to talk about the Globe Theater a
Yeah,
bit.
I know.
It was okay, so the scene that it's the third act of this movie. Runs about 20 minutes, maybe a half hour.
Yep.
Number one, it's very beautiful, it's beautifully shot. But it's so powerful. And two things. It goes to show the power of theater,
Mhm.
right, and live performance, but it's also, to me, as the moviegoer, the power of cinema.
Yeah.
Okay, and what it captures.
Hmm.
Um, Number one, it brings you back, and it shows to me if you grew up and you were learning about theater and you took any type of theater class and you learned about the Globe Theater and you're learning about William Shakespeare, the Globe Theater was meant like the lower class had the best seats of the house, so to speak, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
And so Jessie Buckley and and Agnes and her brother, they come walking in,
Right.
and at first, when she sees Hamlet take the stage, she takes this as an affront, and she even yells out, "Don't you dare yell my son's name out!" And when you're watching it and you're seeing Noah Jupe's performance, and it's so good, you're like, "Shut up, woman!" And even the people in the crowd are like, they're like, when you're in a movie theater and someone's talking and you're like, would you shut the hell up? Get off your phone. But
Yeah.
then, as the performance goes on and she starts to become enthralled, as you were saying, she moves her way up and you come to the end of the play. Now, this doesn't happen in theater at all, but I could see this happening in the Globe Theater. And I don't know if there's any true account of this ever happening in the Globe Theater at all. But man, oh Manischewitz, was this so powerful for an actor?
Right.
He's playing Hamlet. He is struck with the poison dagger, and he says the words, "I'm dying," and he kneels down. And Jessie Buckley puts her hand out. And it is right there and then that this wall is broken from actor to audience, in which he reaches out and takes her hand and he's looking at the entire Globe audience
Yeah.
performing. And I'm like going, wow,
Yeah. Well,
this
here's
is
the thing.
character. Yeah, go
Yeah,
ahead. Go
so
ahead.
I'm just going to say that, Shakespeare in Love is definitely another one where we get to see the Globe and its glory,
Yeah.
and seeing performances and that kind of thing and how the masses loved it. And but yeah, this so beautiful in so many ways because like once she sees the character on stage, then she's immediately connected, right? And then and often Shakespeare did, this is truth. Shakespeare often did play parts in his plays. So,
Mhm.
him playing the ghost of Hamlet's father is, would have happened, could have happened. But it's so beautiful because, Paul Mescal did not have a chance. Shakespeare did not have a chance to say goodbye to his son. He came and his son was already dead. And
Mhm.
this was his chance to say goodbye. And so, you've got that moment and it's so
Mhm.
brilliantly done. And then you see him breaking down backstage. And then you focus in on Agnes. And because she's the one who, it's her heart basically that
Right.
pumps through this film. And, her watching the very end and, reaching out like that. And that's what they would do. The audiences would reach out and touch the actors and stuff on the stage. So, when Hamlet's dying from the poisoned spear that cuts him, and she reaches out to him, and the actors obviously, they're doing it for the first time, and so they're reacting the same way, but it's her way of saying goodbye. And then that beautiful, beautiful moment at the very end where she watches her young Hamnet walking away, looking at her, walking away, and she doesn't cry. She laughs, she smiles, she laughs because she knows he is now going off to
Mm.
other worlds basically. And uh, just
Yeah.
it all plays out on this wonderful actress's face, and she's just so wonderful in this, just
Yeah.
unbelievable,
No,
unbelievable.
it's a beautiful scene, but and again, I just like it was just the power of theater, and
Yes.
again, we don't get. I've been to theater, I've never seen it where an actor would break, like, I don't think an actor would have, like, in today's theater, I think the person would pull the actor off the stage. Where in
Right.
here, it was so respected, like the hand went out, the actor took the
Yeah.
hand, and then he looked upon everybody else and he played to the audience, right? The actor played, and then
Yeah.
Hamlet dies, but then the actor rises almost as if resurrected, and the crowd, it goes wild, and you just feel everything coming up. It was a very
Right.
cathartic, a very beautifully shot scene, that just had so much weight to it on so many levels. It was just a very wonderfully. It makes the movie that more resonant, and
Right.
it is very beautiful. And again, it's such a powerful movie that I believe for movie going experience is wonderful. And again, I think it's something too that need be mentioned. This movie is produced by Steven Spielberg. And why? Why, to see Steven Spielberg's name was kind of a surprise. And it's why? Because he saw this and he said, you know what? This is something that doesn't belong on streaming. This is something and he said this. He goes, this is when you choose to go to a movie, this is something that deserves, like, you're sharing an experience with strangers, and this is the type of movie that deserves to be shared
Yeah.
in a darkened room in a theater together. And I get it. And when you
Yeah.
watch this movie, you become engrossed. It
Yeah.
draws you in, and it really, like, showcases, like, how many movies and the variety of movies that there are this year for Academy contenders, whether it's going to be One Battle After Another, whether it be Wicked,
Right.
or whether it be Hamnet, or whether it be a Marty Supreme. Like, the variety is fantastic for us all.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah. Yeah.
um,
I'm sure just well, we won't get into it in detail, but I'm sure you're not particularly happy that Netflix bought Warner Bros.
no, no, I'm, I hope that the deal is not allowed to go through. I wish that nobody, the best case scenario is that nobody is allowed to buy Warner Brothers. I wasn't happy if Paramount, I wouldn't
Well,
have been happy if Paramount is allowed to, but I want to finish with Hamnet. Look, what do you give Hamnet? The high five. I give it the 5 stars too. It's very deserving. It's a wonderful film. It's one of those, it's a small movie, but with big residual, big box. It's a movie that stayed with me long after watching it, and but in a very good way.
yeah.
You think about the certain things like you were talking about, how
Right.
Shakespeare would play characters and things. And I also, like I said, I know it's fiction, but I really did take it as a biopic.
Yeah.
And I didn't feel like I
Well,
was taking my medicine. It played out very, you know,
well, I
I
mean, it
look at
was
it and I
true
was
to
like,
the
I want
time.
it to be.
It's true
Yeah,
to
it
the
was true.
time and it's true to his spirit. But, the
Sure.
facts were just, we just didn't have very many facts about Shakespeare. That's why he's highly, you know, controversial and contended. And people will say, oh, he didn't write all the plays because look at this. And, like, Philip Marlowe was here and this and that and blah, 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 blah. So, there's
Sure.
all that stuff going on. So it's
Sure.
fascinating, but still, it doesn't
It
matter.
is.
Whoever wrote those plays, and we'll give it to
Sure.
Shakespeare because whoever wrote those plays was an amazingly brilliant, writer who, as he's portrayed in this, obsessive over his work, and you know, we're gonna. It's just, it's just the best. In fact, I want to go see it again, and then I want to see it on the big screen as well, and you know, just revel in it again because it's an immersive film. It's an immersive film,
It
and
is.
you're
Yep.
and you're there.
Yep. Yeah,
Yeah.
there, and it's worth seeing, and it's a different cinematic experience,
Yep.
but it's one worth taking, and you won't be sorry for doing it and for taking it, and you'll come out going, wow, That's okay. I get it now. I understand why what all the fuss is, and see it now before. This is a movie where I can honestly say the hype it's not overhype.
Yeah,
What you're
no,
hearing about this movie
it's true.
is spot on, but see it now
Yeah,
because you're going to start here, like you're going to hear a lot about it and you might think that it's overhyped, but see it before that all kicks in. Because
yeah,
there's another movie that's coming out soon that they're talking a lot about that I do think is a lot of overhype. But this one deserves the hype. And again, if Steven Spielberg got behind it and thinks that it's a movie going experience, that's deserving of the big screen for a drama. It's deserving of the big screen, and
yeah,
it's good for the emotional thing. So it's a good
yep,
time to see it.
yep, yep.
So five
So
stars.
yeah,
So we
so
go
we've got
from
5 stars. Yeah, from 1 to 5.
1 to 5. When does that happen? That's great.
So, but yeah, we've got some good stuff even coming up in the next few weeks. So we'll keep you tuned in on that. But we'll have our whole Oscar discussion at some point, probably the beginning of the year. We'll do our
I
Oscar
can't
roundup.
wait. Yeah, I
Yeah.
can't wait. And we'll be able to talk about our Astras and Oscars and what we think and what we don't think.
Yep.
And yeah, it's a fun time. It's a fun
Yeah.
time. And yeah, it's good
So
times.
so thanks for tuning in, everybody. Make sure you
Thank
like
you.
and subscribe and give us our comments and
Subscribe
let
and
us
all
know
that
what you
stuff.
think.
Comment, please do. And
Yep.
go to the movies.
And
Go
go
to
to
the
the movies.
movies.
All right,
Yes.
everyone. Take care. Bye.
Bye.